Did you know that nearly all deaths after the age of 75 come down to just a handful of causes? It might sound surprising, but it's true. Many people assume that passing away at an advanced age is simply part of nature's course, inevitable and unpredictable. But the reality is, most fatalities in this stage of life are driven by specific risks, many of which are preventable. Risks that often remain hidden until it's too late, until health has already declined, and the options to turn things around become fewer. That's why this conversation is so important. Because once you understand what truly threatens your health after 75, you'll see that you're not powerless. In fact, you have far more control than you might think. In today's video, we're going to walk through the 5 leading causes of death after 75, the very ones responsible for nearly all fatalities in this age group. Some might seem obvious, others may surprise you, but what matters most is this. Knowing them is the first step toward protecting yourself. These aren't just dry statistics. Behind every number is a person, a life, a family, and a series of choices that shaped what happened next. Choices that could mean the difference between years of struggling with preventable health problems or living stronger, longer, and with the independence you've earned. Stay with me until the end, because what you'll learn today might just change how you approach your health moving forward. These 5 causes are not inevitable. Many people, perhaps people just like you, have taken simple, meaningful steps that reduce their risks dramatically. And in doing so, they stayed independent longer, enjoyed better quality of life, and in many cases, added years, even decades to their lives. It all comes down to the decisions you make right now, the habits you build, the risks you address, and the actions you're willing to take today. Because these choices don't just shape your health, they shape how strong, active, and capable you remain in the years ahead. So if you've ever wondered what really determines how we age and what you can do to stay in control, this is for you. Let's begin. Cause number 1, heart disease. Let's start with the most common and often the most underestimated threat. Heart disease. It remains the leading cause of death for people over 75. Yet what many don't realize is just how much control you truly have over the health of your heart. It's not just a matter of genetics or age. It's the daily choices we make that either protect this vital muscle or quietly weaken it. You see, your heart is a muscle, one that needs care, attention, and exercise to stay strong. And like any muscle, if it's neglected, it weakens. The tricky part is, heart disease rarely announces itself with loud symptoms early on. Instead, it creeps in silently until one day it shows up as a heart attack, chest pain, or a frightening trip to the hospital. Many people chalk up feeling tired, slowing down, or becoming short of breath as just getting older. But often these are early signals your heart is struggling. They're your body's way of whispering, pay attention. One of the biggest culprits behind heart disease is high blood pressure, what doctors call the silent killer. It damages your arteries little by little, forcing your heart to work harder than it should. And because there's no pain or obvious symptom, it's easy to ignore until it leads to something devastating. Another hidden danger? Years of eating processed foods, too much salt, and unhealthy fats. These habits slowly clog arteries, restrict blood flow, and starve the heart of what it needs most: good circulation. But here's something hopeful. Protecting your heart isn't just about cutting out the bad. It's also about nourishing your body with the right foods. Foods rich in fiber, healthy fats, and vitamins that keep your arteries flexible and your heart strong. Think leafy greens, fatty fish like salmon, nuts, berries, and heart-friendly oils. And let's not forget movement. Your heart was designed to work, pumping blood, delivering oxygen, and supporting every cell in your body. But when you sit too long or stop moving, everything slows down. Muscles weaken, circulation suffers, and the heart itself doesn't get the exercise it needs. The good news? You don't have to run marathons or lift heavy weights to protect your heart. Gentle, consistent movement, like daily walks, stretching, or even simple chair exercises, makes a world of difference. Every step you take is a gift to your heart. And here's the mindset shift most people miss. Heart disease isn't a guaranteed part of aging. It's not just fate because your parents or siblings had heart problems. Every healthy meal, every walk around the block, every deep breath, these are investments in your heart's future. So if there's one takeaway here, it's this: you have more power than you think. Starting today, the small decisions you make, what you eat, how you move, how you manage stress, can help your heart stay strong for years to come. And the best time to start protecting it? Not tomorrow, not next year. It's right now. Because number two, falls and injuries. Now here's something most people overlook. One of the greatest risks to your health after 75 isn't an illness. It's a simple fall. It happens so fast. One missed a step, a slippery floor, a moment of dizziness, and suddenly everything changes. A fractured hip, a head injury, even a bruised rib can lead to serious complications at this stage of life. What makes falls especially dangerous is how easy they are to dismiss until it's too late. Many people don't realize just how vulnerable they become until that first fall lands them in the hospital. The truth is, falls are now one of the leading causes of injury-related deaths in older adults. Millions end up in emergency rooms every year because of them. And here's the heartbreaking part: many never fully recover. A single fall can set off a chain reaction, months of bed rest, loss of independence, infections, even cognitive decline. Why does this happen? Because as we age, our balance, muscle strength, and reflexes slowly fade. But it's so gradual we don't notice, until the day our body can't catch us fast enough. You might feel steady walking through your home until you reach for something, lose your balance, and the floor seems to rise up faster than you can react. And sadly, the older we get, the less our bodies bounce back. Here's something else that catches people off guard. Fear of falling leads to even more falls. After a close call, many older adults stop moving as much. They avoid stairs, skip walks, and limit their activities to stay safe. But the less you move, the weaker your muscles become. And the weaker you get, the higher the risk of falling again. It's a vicious cycle, one that steals independence faster than most illnesses. But, and this is so important, falls are not inevitable. There are simple steps that dramatically reduce your risk. Strengthening your legs and core, practicing balance exercises, and making small but powerful changes in your home, like adding grab bars, improving lighting, and removing loose rugs, can protect you more than you know. And there's another hidden risk people rarely talk about: medications. Many prescriptions cause dizziness, drowsiness, or sudden drops in blood pressure, making you unsteady on your feet. If you've ever stood up too fast and felt dizzy, that's your body waving a red flag. This is why it's so important to review your medications regularly with your doctor. Make sure nothing you're taking is increasing your fall risk without you realizing it. Falling isn't just about tripping over something. It's about staying strong, balanced, and aware of what's quietly putting you at risk. Because here's the truth: after 75, a single fall can change your life. But the good news is, with the right habits and a few adjustments, you can protect your freedom, your mobility, and your independence for years to come. And isn't that what we all want? To stay strong, active, and in control of our lives? Because number three, respiratory diseases. Now here's something many people take for granted until it becomes a daily struggle: the simple act of breathing. Our lungs work quietly in the background, fueling every cell, every movement, every moment. But after 75, your lungs don't work quite like they used to, and even mild breathing problems can quickly become life-threatening. That's why respiratory diseases rank among the leading causes of death for older adults. But what's truly alarming is how often they creep up slowly. So slowly, in fact, many mistake the signs for just getting older. It often starts with a lingering cough, a little shortness of breath when climbing stairs, or wheezing that comes and goes. Easy to ignore, easy to brush off. But over time, these small changes can turn into something much bigger. Conditions like chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, emphysema, chronic bronchitis, and in many cases, even pneumonia. And here's what makes it so dangerous. Once breathing becomes difficult, every part of your health suffers. Energy levels drop, muscles weaken. Even your heart works harder, trying desperately to get oxygen where it's needed. Let me share a quick story. There was a man named Carl, 79 years old, a proud grandfather, always active. But one winter he caught what he thought was just a cold. A little cough, some fatigue, but nothing serious. Except weeks passed and he didn't bounce back. That small cough turned into pneumonia. His lungs couldn't fight it off. Within days he was hospitalized, struggling for breath. And sadly, Carl's story isn't unique. Pneumonia is one of the most dangerous infections for people over 75, and it's often triggered by something as simple as the common cold. What many people don't realize is that weakened lungs also make you more vulnerable to other infections. And sometimes it's the body's weakened immune response, not the illness itself, that causes the most harm. Poor air quality is another silent threat. Decades of breathing in pollution, secondhand smoke, or even indoor dust and mold weaken lung function. Even seemingly harmless things, like scented candles or aerosol sprays, can irritate already sensitive lungs. But here's the good news. You have more control than you think. Start by moving your body daily. Gentle walks, stretches, any activity that gets your lungs working helps keep them strong. The more you move, the more you force your lungs to expand fully, clearing out mucus and improving oxygen flow. And don't forget the power of prevention. Vaccines for pneumonia, the flu, and even COVID have saved countless lives. They're not just recommendations, they're shields protecting you from illnesses that can spiral fast. If you haven't talked to your doctor about vaccinations recently, make that your next priority. It's one of the simplest ways to protect your lungs and your life. Lastly, check your environment. Open windows when possible, use air purifiers if needed, and keep your living spaces free of dust and mold. Every breath you take matters, and the cleaner the air, the better for your lungs. Breathing shouldn't feel like a battle, and it doesn't have to. By paying attention now, strengthening your lungs and protecting them from harm, you're not just adding years to your life, you're making every one of those years fuller, richer, and easier to enjoy. Because number 4, stroke. Now here's something that truly deserves your attention, because it strikes without warning and changes everything in an instant. A stroke. It happens fast, sometimes in the blink of an eye, and yet the impact can last a lifetime. For people over 75, stroke is not only one of the leading causes of death, but also one of the biggest reasons many lose their independence. But here's what most people don't realize. Up to 80% of strokes are preventable. Yes, preventable. See, a stroke occurs when blood flow to the brain is suddenly blocked, or when a blood vessel bursts. Without oxygen, brain cells begin to die, minute by minute. And unlike other parts of the body, the brain doesn't heal easily. Once those cells are gone, the damage is often permanent. Sometimes it's a small stroke. Maybe you slur a few words or feel weak on one side. Other times it leaves a person unable to speak, move, or even care for themselves. And sadly, for many, it's fatal. One of the biggest culprits? High blood pressure, the silent killer. You won't feel it creeping up. There's no headache, no warning light flashing. Yet over time, that constant pressure weakens your arteries, making them brittle and prone to breaking or clogging. And when one of those vessels bursts or gets blocked in the brain, that's when a stroke hits. Another hidden danger is atrial fibrillation, also known as AFib. It's an irregular heartbeat that causes blood to pool in the heart. That pooled blood can form a clot, and if that clot travels to the brain, it blocks blood flow instantly. The worst part? Many people have AFib and don't even know it. That's why regular checkups are so important, because the things that lead to a stroke often don't cause any pain until it's too late. But there's more. The food you eat, the amount you move, even how well you stay hydrated, all of it affects your risk. Eating too much processed food, salt, and unhealthy fats thickens your blood and damages your arteries. Staying inactive causes blood to pool, slowing circulation, and increasing clot risk. On the flip side, simple changes make a big difference. Eating leafy greens, whole grains, berries, and healthy fats from foods like fish or nuts keeps your blood flowing smoothly and your arteries strong. And here's something many people overlook: mini strokes. You might have heard them called TIAs, or transient ischemic attacks. These are small strokes that last only minutes and then seem to go away. But make no mistake, a TIA is your body screaming for help. It's a warning shot that a major stroke could be next. If you or someone you love ever experiences sudden weakness, trouble speaking, blurred vision, or confusion, even if it disappears, don't ignore it. Get to the hospital immediately. That quick decision could be the difference between walking out on your own or never walking again. Let me share a quick story. There was a woman named Eileen. At 82, she was sharp, independent, and loved her morning crossword puzzles. One day, while having coffee, she suddenly couldn't lift her coffee cup. Her arm felt heavy, her words slurred. But within minutes, she felt fine. She almost brushed it off. Thankfully, her daughter insisted they go to the hospital. Turns out, Eileen had experienced a mini stroke. But because they caught it early, doctors were able to start treatment immediately, preventing a major stroke that could have left her paralyzed. That's the takeaway. Strokes don't have to be inevitable. The sooner you act, the more power you have to protect yourself. So check your blood pressure often. Talk to your doctor about your heart rhythm. Move your body daily, even if it's just a gentle walk. Choose foods that fuel your brain. And most importantly, listen to your body's warning signs. Because preventing a stroke isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about protecting your ability to live those years fully, on your own terms. Because number 5, cognitive decline and its hidden dangers. Now here's something that often sneaks up quietly, until one day it's impossible to ignore. Cognitive decline. We tend to think of memory loss as just part of getting older. A few forgotten names, misplaced keys, or moments of confusion. But the truth is, when these signs start appearing, they're often a signal of deeper changes happening in the brain. Conditions like dementia and Alzheimer's don't arrive overnight. They develop slowly, robbing people of their ability to think clearly, make sound decisions, or manage daily life. And what makes cognitive decline so dangerous is that it doesn't just affect the mind, it puts your entire health and independence at risk. You see, when memory and reasoning begin to fade, so does the ability to care for yourself. Things like remembering to take medication, cooking balanced meals, or staying hydrated become daily challenges. And small mistakes, a missed pill, a forgotten meal, can quickly spiral into major health emergencies. Even simple tasks turn risky. Leaving the stove on, forgetting to lock the door, wandering outside at night, all of these put safety on the line. I once knew a man named Robert. In his younger years, he was sharp, organized, and independent. But as he approached 80, little changes started showing up. He forgot appointments, repeated stories, and struggled to balance his checkbook. His family brushed it off as normal aging, until the day Robert left his house at dawn, confused about where he was going. It was the wake-up call they needed. The truth is, cognitive decline can happen to anyone. And when it goes unnoticed, it silently strips away the ability to live independently. Over time, many seniors with dementia become vulnerable to malnutrition, dehydration, infections, and even life-threatening accidents. But here's the hopeful part. There's a lot you can do to protect your mind. One of the most powerful tools? Staying mentally active. Just like muscles weaken from lack of use, the brain needs regular workouts. Reading, puzzles, learning new skills, or simply having meaningful conversations keeps your mind sharp and engaged. Physical movement is just as important. Exercise boosts blood flow to the brain, improving memory and protecting against mental decline. A daily walk, gentle stretches, or even dancing in your living room does more than strengthen your body. It keeps your mind healthy too. And don't underestimate the power of connection. Isolation speeds up cognitive decline dramatically. When you stay socially engaged, meeting a friend for coffee, calling family, joining a community group, you're not just filling time, you're protecting your brain. Of course, what you eat matters as well. Foods rich in omega-3s, antioxidants, and vitamins, like leafy greens, berries, and nuts, nourish the brain. Meanwhile, too much processed food, sugar, and unhealthy fats increase inflammation and speed up mental decline. The bottom line is this: cognitive decline is not guaranteed. You have more control than you think. By staying mentally and physically active, eating well, and staying connected, you can protect your mind and hold on to the independence you've worked so hard for. Final thoughts. Your health is still in your hands. Now that we've covered these 5 major risks, heart disease, falls, respiratory issues, stroke, and cognitive decline, there's something I hope you truly hear. These are not just facts or statistics. They are warnings, and they are within your power to change. Most people believe these health challenges are simply the price of growing older. But the truth is, many of them are preventable. Small, thoughtful choices made today can protect your health, preserve your independence, and give you many more good years with the people you love. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Eating a little better. Moving a little more. Getting that checkup you've been putting off. Calling a friend instead of sitting in silence. Reading something new instead of rewatching the same show. Every small step adds up. And the best part, it's never too late to start. Whether you're 65, 75, or beyond, you can still make choices that protect your heart, strengthen your body, sharpen your mind, and safeguard your future. Because at this stage of life, your health is your greatest asset. The more you care for it, the more freedom you'll have to live life on your own terms. Imagine waking up every day feeling strong, steady, and confident in your body and mind. Imagine enjoying your time with loved ones, pursuing your hobbies, and feeling truly independent without the fear of sudden health problems stealing that from you. That future is possible, and it starts with the choices you make today. So what spoke to you most in this video? Did something surprise you? Or maybe you realize there's one area you've been meaning to work on. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share one takeaway, or even a small action you're inspired to take, in the comments below. Your stories mean so much to us, and reading them reminds us why these conversations matter. And if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Together, we can help more people protect their health and live the long, fulfilling lives they deserve. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourself, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.